Hello, everybody! Fixed stupid microphone, broken. I'm still bitter about that. Sorry. So, we're doing Anime Reflux today, and we have a show that got a little bit of an uptick in popularity just after a few episodes of it airing. I don't know where the sudden buzz for it came from, but the reason I heard of it was because of a YouTube that claimed it to be a Chinese and superior version of Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna state unequivocally that's not true. That's not what this is. But you know,
It's just so everybody likes to draw a comparison point to Sword Art Online because it's big and popular.
and shit. Yeah.
Yep.
So, apologize. I also have a cough. Can't really do anything about it. Sorry. So yeah, the show we're talking about this week is Quan Zhi Gao Shou, which is Chinese anime that started, I think, last year.
Yeah.
Shiname. Don't call it Shiname.
It was either
I
last
thought
year
you
or
were.
earlier this year. I can't remember. It's recent.
Yeah. So, this show, basic synopsis, is about a professional gamer who is getting a bit long in the tooth and gets fired from his team and forced to retire, which means he can't play for a year, which means his career is basically over.
Long in the tooth.
Apparently, that does mean getting old.
Yeah, apparently.
I didn't think it did until I Googled it just now to call you on it, but it does. All right.
Yeah, thank you very much. Trying to pick apart my syntax.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so,
wasn't the only one.
Yeah, more looking at your diction and you're just okay, whatever. Never mind.
okay.
But let's not go to English terms.
Mr. Language Major in a language that isn't his. So, you know,
I was born knowing this language. It's mine. Shut up.
yeah. So, the main line of comparison that people draw between this and Sword Art Online is the protagonist is super great at everything, and all the ladies love him, and for not really well-established reasons, and he's super nice and cool, and also kind of mysterious because he doesn't talk much, and such, and such, and such. Being sardonic, I don't apply most of that to Kirito, but, you know...
I mean, Kirito is a loner. Gets all the ladies. Kind of. All the girls have crushes on Kirito.
Yeah.
Yes, the whole harem stuff. Even his sister can't resist him.
Still weird. So, but we're not talking about Sword Art Online. We're talking about this show, and I'm gonna say we should probably just pull away from the Sword Art Online comparisons because, as I've said, it's not a great comparison other than just to draw the protagonists, like set them on a line and compare them. Aside from that, they're nothing alike, despite being about video games.
Yeah, so our main character gets basically dumped and gets his character they worked on for so long kind of taken away from him as part of the contract.
Yeah, this is in a bit of background. This is on like a theoretical future where video games are basically recognized as a sport. Just completely a sport with sponsorship deals and big prize money and all that stuff. So, a not too distant future as
Future
well.
sucks.
Well, like especially in like China and South Korea, online games have a humongous presence there that they don't really have in the West.
Yeah.
So
Like
this
but
is something
even,
I could see
but
being
even then,
even.
this is even bigger than it is currently. This is a little in the future. Like getting professional StarCraft players to be in McDonald's commercials bigger. So, yeah, that kind of thing. That kind of thing actually happens in the show. McDonald's
Yeah.
sponsorships all over the show, by the way. I just want to point out. I don't know if anyone noticed the big yellow M
Did I notice?
for like 20 seconds in a shot. Yeah, I think McDonald's might have put some money on this show. But yeah, so in this theoretical future, we have our main dude. His name is, I think it's Yechu. I think. I'm going to call him main dude because I am going to butcher the fucking Chinese names. Japanese I've got a
Yeah.
little used to. Chinese is not going to happen.
No, we're
Yeah.
bad enough with Japanese. Some names we don't bother
It's
saying at all. So
I've seen Chinese and Korean animes before, and even read light novels from both of those countries. I still can't pronounce those names, or even understand them, or remember them to any degree.
Yeah. So he goes over to his team's company's offices because he's told to. Presumably, we don't see that, but he goes there with one of his teammates, who is a lady, who is buxom because of course. And in this meeting, he gets told that he is being replaced as the team captain by a douchebag, basically.
as you do.
Yeah, he's not really given much characterization beyond he's kind of a douchebag, and immediately says, "Oh, sorry, I'm only joining the team and I'm already replacing you." Yeah, so bit of a douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
And so main dude is told, "Okay, well, we don't have any open spots in the team at the moment. We have a pretty solid roster, so." For the time being, we're gonna make you like a training partner or something. It's probably fine, you know. And Major is like, "Yeah, all right. I know what you're doing. All right, fine. I quit then, I guess." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. So about those early termination fees for your contract." Yeah. So they would be expensive, but we can waive them if you announce your retirement. And the girl's like, "You bastards," and such. And because main dude is 26 years old. I don't know if people keep up with video games, professional video games, a lot. Your prime years for being good at video games are between about 12 and mid-20s at best.
Sounds about right.
Because by then, the stress of 200 APM is going to knacker your fingers. It's just gone at that point. Like, you end up with arthritis and carpal tunnel and all that stuff, and you just slow down and you can't compete anymore. It's an even harsher drop-off for things than things like boxing or whatever, because your fingers just can't take the stress anymore. So at 26, he is over the hill, or should be. Like, he's still the top player in the game supposedly, but they don't expect it to last for much longer and just kind of want to get rid of him. But in the interests of protecting their own asses, they say, "Hey, you announce your retirement, which means you have to stop playing for a year, and by that point, he's going to be done," is their thinking. So she's like, "Oh, you assholes, don't sign. It's a shitty deal." And main dude is just like, "I'll sign," and signs it. He's done for a year, leaves, and we get perspective from the management, which is an intentionally very slimy dude. I could bring up a comparison to Sword Art, but I'm not going to. And he is like, yeah, he had no choice but to retire because he doesn't have the money to pay those termination fees. Like, in the before time, in the long, long ago, there was not as much prize money. There wasn't as much sponsorship or any of that stuff. So if you weren't the best at the game, you were broke. And main dude had a lot of friends like that. And, you know, he can barely feed himself anymore with the amount of money he has. supposedly.
I believe it's because he helped them out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the implication. Which, yeah, I guess. I mean, see, this is what happens when you read someone else's review before you review a show. Because all I can do is just think up their opinions and how I disagree with them. But, yeah, this is pointed to as like, yeah, this is great trait for a character. He's just so giving and generous, and yeah, sure.
Well, he's a nice guy, I guess, is that thing, and he gets kind of screwed over, is what they're getting to.
Yeah.
And, if he hadn't been so nice, you have the implication of if he'd just been greedier, then he would be in a better position.
Yeah. So, the main thrust of his character is he really likes the game. It's called Glory, by the way. It's an MMO in, future times that is all MMOs, including things like Destiny, probably. So, yeah. It's a little weird, but whatever. It's the future.
The future.
Yeah. And he's like, if you don't like the game, you shouldn't fucking play it. And you shouldn't be a pro at this game if you don't like playing the fucking game. Essentially. So he's cold and sees an internet cafe or so that the Chinese equivalent. It's like a thing where people go to play video games because you don't have a home internet connection in China, I guess. That's kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's kind of just a gaming internet cafe.
Yeah, so he goes to one of those and gets station, I guess would be the term. Goes to it and finds a woman playing Glory, and she's losing, playing a gunner character, and he is immediately like, oh yeah, that video game that I can no longer play. Yeah. And she sees him as like, oh, this is your station. All right, fine. Wanders off, muttering to herself about how she lost 52 times in a row. He immediately sits down at the station and basically borrows her account and wins a match with her character in 4 seconds or so, I think it said.
40.
40? Thank you.
He said it would have been 30, but he had no idea what he was getting into. He had never used his character.
Yeah.
Also, his hands were cold.
Yeah. Valid. Yeah, they do basically make him the Superman of the game, kind of thing. So, she immediately picks, oh, maybe he's a pro. Okay, cool. And then the attendant comes over and says, hey, you forgot your ID. Ye Shu? And she's like, Ye Shu. Ye Shu! Oh, okay. And she steals the ID and goes, ooh, and gets a stupid look on her face and sees it's actually Ye Shu, and it's not the guy she thought it was, even though it is.
Even though he looks exactly like his character in the game, his name is spelled slightly differently.
Here's the thing. The depiction of the game is
Yeah, I know.
full Sword Art Online. You're completely in the game and everything's rendered brilliantly. When you actually see shots of the game on the computer screen, it looks more like RuneScape. It's a little... yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just they didn't have the budget or what, but...
Man, he loves that game.
Yeah. Some people really like RuneScape. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, I take that back, but yeah. Yeah. So he is also revealed to be the kind of player, pro player that doesn't really do the sponsorship thing, doesn't really care about it, doesn't want to get involved in it. He just loves the game.
Yeah.
Which I find kind of hard to believe, as hard to buy. Like, I think most pro players of video games actually hate the video game they play by the time they're professional at it.
Yeah.
Actually, I think a lot of them still really do love the game, but they not only love the game, they love the community that's around it.
Mm.
It is come from. You have some people who are just like, I hate this game, but I just want to. I know these mechanics, so I'm just going to play it. But there's plenty of people who go, I still love this game.
Mm.
From what I've seen.
Okay. I'll take them at their word in that then, I guess. I mean, it's very easy to say things, but it's entirely possible, I guess, yeah. So, yeah, she figures, okay, so he's not the guy that whatever. I don't care. And I forget what happens next. There was discussion of something. She sees that he has a first edition account, which means he's been playing the game for 10 years. And he's like, oh, hey, you have a job posting. You need like a supervisor thing? I could do that. And she's like, all right, duel me for it, basically, in the game.
Some to duel for a job.
Yeah, it's like, okay, that wasn't one of the parameters on the... Yeah, I just made it up. Shut up. So, she's like,
Well,
okay.
getting a job is so much harder in the future.
He's like, I just gave away my character. I don't have one. And she's like, oh, fine. So you have some work to do then. Get a character sorted and just, get it leveled up decently so that we can have a duel. So he does, and he's completely rusty with the beginner stuff because he hasn't done it in 10 years because he's a professional at the top of the game. Does some stuff, just video game stuff. You get the opening of the new server, which is a big event for some reason. Like, 10 servers. For those who don't play MMOs, there are 10 servers just for Europe right now for Star Wars: The Old Republic. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just like everything is a unified server and they just don't bother opening new ones unless they just want a place where people can start over, basically. Could be the thing.
Yeah.
Like, there's a big thing in the game about records and who gets what first and stuff like that, so that could be a part of it.
Yeah, new server is like you want another chance to get to the top of the game, essentially, by getting all these first perks that nobody else can get.
Yeah. So, he does all this beginner stuff, and you get shots of inside the game where all the new players, like chat windows and everything coming up, and it's really annoying and obnoxious, just like in real MMOs. So, that was a nice touch. And he does a quest and gets an umbrella weapon, which has significance, but you don't know what it is now. But there is a shot of him first playing the game when he was like 15, and just finding that and finding it super cool, and it's all these great memories from when he first started playing the game. So just reinforcing the whole he loves the game and that's why he plays angle. Then he gets invited onto a group quest to kill a hidden boss in a certain area. And they get on him for not using headset, microphone, and typing instead, which I can get because this is one of those APM games. You don't want to have to waste like 3 seconds typing an actual message. That's not great. So,
Yes, but I also hate people.
Yeah.
That guy first thing in my headset, I've been like, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'm with Kenshi on this one.
Yeah, okay. So he goes into this area, sees the dude, and sees 3 other new players. And they're like, oh, this guy's so great, he's so cool. And he does poses and such of this other guy. And then the boss arrives, and a fight scene, MMO fight. Newbie takes aggro by attacking the thing first, which is a mistake. So, other dude, who is now apparently what I'm going to call him, takes aggro by just dealing more damage. And it's an MMO fight until it's revealed that other dude is just getting all the shit players in there so they can be distractions, so he can kill the thing and get all the cool drops and not have to roll for them or anything. And main dude figures this out pretty quickly and decides, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna let this play out and you're gonna get hoisted by your own petard. And that basically happens. Other dude just gets pinned down by the thing, and he's like, hey, you should probably help. And main dude is just like, nope, you're...
He was healing everybody for like 10 seconds, then realized what was happening and stopped.
Yeah. And it's just like, well, it was a good plan, but yeah, I figured it out, so
Fuck off.
I'm gonna let you die and then just take all the drops for myself, just like you were gonna do. So good luck with that.
Let's see who the bigger scumbag is.
Yeah, that's pretty much how the episode ends. That is how the episode ends, actually. Before that whole thing draws to a close. So, thoughts?
I remember, liking this show when I first saw the first episode. Just the premise of it being, this guy was a competitive gamer trying to get kind of back into the game and start over. I thought that was an interesting angle to go with it. But I remember I dropped off this show at one point because it just didn't really appeal to me anymore.
Well, I don't know. Like, technically, there's nothing wrong with it. It just didn't grab me. I don't know if it's the storyline of old gamer trying to find his way in the world for the next year or something. I don't know. It doesn't take me. I was not engrossed at all watching this show. Wasn't for me.
It doesn't help that the subtitles are kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Like, for every version of the show that I've found, the subtitles are Chinese, then English below them, which means to take up the right amount of space, the subtitles have to be halved in size, so they're smaller. And that makes them awkward to read, and Chinese is kind of a fast language. And then there's the part where they decide to be fancy with the subtitles, and when there's text on the screen, they put the subtitles under the text. And doesn't it look cool when they're doing the chat windows, which is something they do for like 90% of the show?
The subtitles, I feel, are just awkward in this show.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just not implemented well. Like Kenshi said, like, the show didn't grab him. Like, the reason it did grab me to any extent was because I thought it was an interesting premise, and I wanted to see how they carried through on it. And, I think the reason why I dropped off was they didn't carry it through the way I would have liked to have seen it done. So.
Yeah, like, here's the thing. I watched the whole show. I like the premise. I like the idea of basically his off season, he starts up a new team. Basically, just gets some schlub players that were pretty good, but could be way better with some guidance, and just building them up to be his new team. That was a cool idea. It takes them so long to get that going. Like, there are 5 episodes where he's building his team, and then he has his team, and then there are 6 episodes of basically nothing. Just kind of shitty infighting between him and people that think he's him, like, have kind of figured out that he's the big cool guy, but aren't sure, so are probing and such to see if he's him. There's 6 episodes of that. I think one dude figures it out, and then nothing else happens.
Why doesn't he tell them? Like, once he has his team together, why doesn't...
He's supposed to be retired, first
Yeah,
of all.
he can't play professionally, and you have to imagine in that contract that he signed there's like a non-disparagement agreement. He can't talk shit about them, which he would kind of have to do if he were to tell people what actually happened.
Yeah, NDAs and stuff. Yeah.
So, yeah, Sorry, I was gonna sneeze. For the people he's grooming, you have to imagine it's like, okay, let them get into actually playing the game and play the way I like to play, which is enjoying the game, and then make them really good at it so they can play professionally and do this for a job. So he doesn't tell them about it. And then for the people that are professionals, he kind of can't tell, because if he tells them any details, then they'll figure out the real thing and then get slapped with a lawsuit, probably.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just kind of drags. Because
that's kind of what I was feeling.
Yeah, once you have all the characters there, they don't really do anything with the plot anymore. It's just training and training and training and training. And that's pretty much it. It's like a training arc that doesn't have the payoff at the end of it.
Really? Like,
Yeah.
all the way up until the last episode.
The last episode isn't at the end of his year. The last episode is maybe like 3 months in. Yeah, there's no payoff. There is apparently going to be a second season. Fine. I might give it a shot, but I don't expect great things.
Okay.
It's a pretty show. That's always a plus. The art is nice. The animation can be nice. Aside from that,
Any other final thoughts, or?
I mean, I got nothing else.
Yeah.
It sounded varying in how interesting it was. I mean, I like the premise. It sounds like a good premise. And, well, if they renew it for a second season and it turns out well, perhaps I'll take a look at it. But, nah. I hate dead ends, you know about that.
Yeah. Like, I don't really know how they're going to, like, resolve the whole, hey, your hands are gonna fucking break thing. Like, that's not a thing you shonen power up from. Like, Hajime no Ippo recently had a thing where the main character is a boxer, and he got very close to losing a lot of his fights and got punched in the head a lot.
CTE, baby.
Yeah, that story might be ending now at about 1,200 chapters because the main character is punch drunk. Like, this is basically that very scenario. There is a point where he just can't play anymore. And that should be fast approaching if it hasn't already. But he's still the best of the best for reasons that are hard to explain. Like, they make that whole programming thing kind of realistic, and then just completely undermine it by having being the best forever. Is my thought. So.
Yeah. Would be more interesting if character is slowly starting to lose his skills, and so just trying to hurriedly pass on as much knowledge as he can.
Yeah.
Kind of like All Might.
Yeah, that'd
There
be
you
cool.
go.
If his plan isn't just to keep playing and just to manage the next great team. That'd be cool. I'd be down with that. but that doesn't seem where they're going. This, in fairness, this is a comparison to Sword Art Online that you can make, is that he is going to be the best at this forever because he is the Superman.
Yeah. Well, let's roll a new one.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Got the list ready.
Here we go. Keep your fingers crossed, patient. And out of 27, we get. Boom. Oh, you're so lucky. 16.
Puella Magic is on this list.
58.
Alrighty. So 158. Blah blah blah. Here we go. Magic spin, and we get 15.
15, you said?
Yes.
All right, let's see here. Sorry. And the winner is Petite Gargantia.
Petite Gargantia. Okay.
I got it.
This is it looks like it's a short series of a series of shorts. So it's yeah.
Let me just verify that real quick.
The plot summary is short episodes streamed on the anime's official site.
I have
after
to
every
verify,
episode.
Zero. I'm a professional.
I mean,
my literal job is fact finding. Yeah,
the episode is 1 minute long, so.
Yeah.
Okay, let's roll another P, shall we? 53, was it?
57 now.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. 57. It's the magic hour, gentlemen. We get 43.
43. Oh.
Uh-oh. All right.
So this time we got the great anime Princess Tutu.
We don't have any vetoes.
We technically have the group veto.
Okay, so
Let's at least take a look at the summary before we get to
In a fairy tale come to life, the clumsy, sweet, and gentle Ahiru, Japanese for duck, seems like an unlikely protagonist. In reality, Ahiru is just as magical as the talking cats and crocodiles that inhabit her town, for Ahiru really is a duck. Transformed by the mysterious Drosselmeyer into a human girl, Ahiru soon learns the reason for her existence. Using her magical egg-shaped pendant, Ahiru can transform into Princess Tutu, a beautiful and talented ballet dancer whose dances relieve people of the turmoil in their hearts.
What?
With her newfound ability, Ahiru accepts the challenge of collecting the lost shards of her prince's heart, for long ago he had shattered it in order to seal an evil raven away for all eternity. Princess Tutu is a tale of heroes and their struggle against fate. Their beliefs, their feelings, and ultimately their actions will determine whether this fairy tale can reach its happily ever after.
I'm so confused right now, but
Yeah.
I'm not feeling this. This sounds stupid.
So it's a girl who's a duck. No.
It's a duck who's a girl.
Who's a girl.
Who transforms into a
magical
ballet.
girl,
Yes.
ballet dancer.
Yep.
I
Did
wasn't
you
even
know?
paying attention to who the villain is supposed to be because that
The villain
really
is
threw me.
the villain is supposed to be an evil raven who is sealed away.
What's wrong with the Ravens? Oh wait, there's a lot of things wrong with the Ravens. Never mind, withdrawn.
There's a lot.
Are you sure that's... I mean, I'm looking at the other entry on GoGo Anime. The sub summary is very, very different from the dub summary.
Well, I'm reading it on the summary on my anime list, so that seems
Okay,
like
never
to be the
mind.
most legit one.
Never mind, it's not very different. It's the same thing, just a different way of...
Princess Tutu aired in 2 parts. The first part included 13 25-minute long episodes. Well, the second part was 24 12-minute long episodes.
Could they have
Okay.
done that in reverse, please?
I don't know why. Yeah, this was a 2002 to 2003 anime.
Yeah.
God, this sounds stupid.
But don't you want to see the fate of the one who was once a duck and is now a ballet dancer?
I kind of do. This sounds so stupid. Like, I can't imagine not.
She must be really good at selfie poses. Just
Duck face.
yeah.
Did you know that ducks have a corkscrew penis?
I did know that.
Yeah.
Right then, moving on. Take us out, Casey.
One of the highest rated reviews on this gave it a 10, so people seem to really like this.
Did you know that female ducks have a corkscrew vagina that goes in the other direction?
That's it. I'm out.
Bye, patient.
And
If you need
how
to
make-
imagine that, just imagine a corkscrew but going in the other direction.
No! I know that video. Stop quoting it.
You have to link this video to this episode.
I'm not doing that.
Yes, you are. You're linking that video.
I can't
to
wait for
this
can't wait for the hidden evil of the duck character because ducks are super evil. Oh,
Okay. So
You're
yeah,
scared away patient.
yeah, we do that sometimes. Okay. Princess Tutu, fine, sure, whatever. Bye, everybody.
bye.
Bye.